Welcome to the Dare to Grow Show. I'm Sarah Morgan, and my mission is to help you take daily action in your business, show up consistently and confidently for your audience, and earn more with digital products and programs. I know you have a rad vision for your life and business, but do you dare to grow? Let's jump into this episode and talk about how to make it happen. Welcome to episode 98. Today we're going to talk about doing all the marketing things. Creating social content, emails, blog posts, videos, engaging, showing up on stories. It's a lot. Even for me, with like 25 years of experience creating content online, I've been doing it most of my life, which is crazy to think about, but it's still a lot for me. And so I do spend a lot of time thinking about and experimenting with how to show up and be effective on social media without it taking over my whole week. Because I like it a lot. I like to create content. I like to share things. I like to be creative, but I don't want to do it every single day. So I like to create the most simple solution that will create the biggest bang for my time, my energy, resources, money, because it can end up feeling like all you're doing is working on content when that really is only a small part of what will grow your business. So first up, let's talk about picking platforms, because you don't need to show up everywhere, even though it probably feels like you do. I remember when Clubhouse launched, I feel like that platform disappeared and we got over it really fast. But when it launched, for weeks, I felt like I needed to get over there and take advantage of that first wave of enthusiasm and action. But outside of that feeling that I was missing out on something, there wasn't anything else getting me like excited about the platform. I just felt bad every time someone talked about it because I hadn't jumped on the app yet. And just thinking about or like having that in the back of my mind that I need to do it was such a waste of time and energy. So go ahead and try things if you're curious, but don't feel like you need to keep adding platforms every time something new is launched. You have permission to just do the stuff you like. So ask yourself, where do you like spending time? What kind of content do you like to make? Do you like to write? Do you like to do audio? Do you like to do video? How does your audience or your ideal customer or client consume content? Where are they spending their time? If being on video is really difficult, then do blogging or do a podcast or send just emails. If you hate writing, then maybe you're doing video instead. And if you hate making content every week, then maybe you're just running a lot of ads. There are a million ways to market yourself and your business. And the key is the more you enjoy it, the easier it will be to show up consistently. Anytime I am not feeling excited to create content, I go back to my blogging roots and think about how to be more creative or to try something fun or focus on supporting my audience without worrying about views and engagement for 1 minute. So before you dive into my suggestions, I want you to first audit the platforms that you are currently using and double check that you're really into creating that type of content and that your audience is showing up and responding. Next, kind of along with this, you need to have a plan for what actions you want your audience to take and how each platform helps to grow your business. So are you using Instagram or TikTok or YouTube to attract your audience, to grow your audience? Are you using it to warm them up so they know and trust you enough to hire you or make a purchase? Are you using it to push them into your website or your blog? So for example, people on YouTube are looking to get their information or be entertained on that app. So putting 3 tips into your video and sending people to a blog post for the rest doesn't work as well as just giving them all 5 tips right on YouTube. Because if you can keep them there, you can keep them consuming your content. However, Instagram is great for teaching the 3 tips because people are more used to opening links within the Instagram app. So double check your purpose for each platform and how well that platform is doing its job for you. Once you've audited your platforms, then it's time to work on your systems and your strategy. So I have systems for planning, for content creation, and for interaction. And the first thing you want to do is automate as much of this process as possible. So use a scheduler to auto-post your content no matter what platform you're on. If you are using any social media platform, you do not need to be posting in real time. That's not a thing that is necessary anymore. And it actually turns into a big waste of time. It might just take 2 minutes, but then you add that on top of 20 other 2-minute tasks, and you lose an hour or hours just from the switching, just from task switching. So you can pre-schedule almost everything. And for things like Reels, you can at least create a draft, save it so that when you do have to go into the app and post, it's going to take you 2 seconds, and all you have to do is hit the post button. And scheduling apps are all pretty equal at this point, so just pick one. Planoly is my jam right now. Later is a great option as well. But if you aren't pre-scheduling your post, set this up ASAP because that is a task you do not want to be doing. And then you need to have a schedule for every task and every action you're taking. So when do you plan content? When do you make videos, take photos, make graphics? When do you write captions, emails, posts? When do you respond to comments? All of these tasks should have a specific space in your schedule that repeats every week or every month. This is why I like to use Asana to plan my schedule, because then I can set a whole bunch of repeating tasks and I don't have to remember to do all of these things. So for example, I plan content once per month. This is a repeating task in my schedule in Asana. And at the beginning of the month, I plan all of my content for social media, emails, podcast episodes, and any promotional content. If we're doing a webinar or a challenge, that all gets planned at the same time. This way, I never have to come up with content and ideas in the moment. And my content is always focused and doing its job because it's all planned at once. And if this is where you're getting stuck, I highly recommend jumping into Dare to Grow and going through the content planning workshop. So in that workshop, I walk you step by step through using Airtable. We use the free version, so you can totally start using it to come up with content ideas and create a schedule. And I'll give you a discount code so you can join and get access to that for just $49. You can use the code podcast22 at checkout for that. Now, I also have a specific schedule for things like responding to DMs and comments and engaging with my audience. If I have not posted anything new on that day, I will check in usually just once a day in the morning while I'm eating breakfast. If I have posted something new, I will check in and respond to comments once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and then maybe once at the end of the workday, because I know that it's not just my audience's engagement that counts, it's my engagement too. But that doesn't mean I have to be on Instagram all day. Checking in once or twice is totally enough. And if you get asked the same questions in your DMs, add an autoresponder. This is especially helpful when I'm running promotions for workshops or challenges and I need to keep sharing the same links. Or instead of doing an autoresponder, you can add pre-written responses into the Notes app on your phone. So it only takes 2 seconds to copy and paste and personalize it. Autoresponders sometimes get a bad rap because people use them really awkwardly and don't make them sound like a human. But as long as it's written in your voice and it's not totally generic, it's a great time saver. And then you definitely want to be batching whenever possible. I know that I don't want to record video every day. I rarely do my hair and makeup. I'm usually in sweatpants, literally sweatpants, no hair and makeup. Wearing a random t-shirt today. So showing up on video and getting cute is not something I want to do every single day. And I also know I can record 3 or 4 videos at once. And that if I'm doing a lip sync reel where I have to speak or move along with the audio, that has to go last because it will take me forever and probably really piss me off. So I could plan, record, edit, write the caption, create the reel all in one day, but I find that little task switching really slows me down. So I do all of the planning at the beginning of the month, and then I do 1 day for recording and editing, 1 day for uploading and doing captions. For me, this is a much easier flow because I can repeat the process for each task, and I create faster this way than doing one whole video every step of the video at a time. Also, don't be afraid to hire help for the boring parts or the difficult parts or the stuff you're always putting off. One of my clients last year had no problem creating her content. She could do videos, she could do photos, she could write the captions without a problem, but she never got around to scheduling her posts. So she would post and then disappear for a few weeks before posting again. So she figured out that scheduling was the problem and just hired someone to do that part for her. It doesn't matter what part of the process you get stuck on or avoid or never find time for. If it's keeping you from showing up and doing the things you know that you need to do and you want to do, then you need to ditch that task or delegate it to someone else. And one of my favorite ways to figure out what I need to ditch or delegate is to track my time. I think I talk about tracking your time and scheduling things in advance in every single episode. So, just start doing that and then we can get on to other things. Now, in this episode, we're talking more about content and social media, but if you're feeling overwhelmed by your business or your to-do list in general, I would track your time for the entire day. So you're going to do this for 10 to 14 days and you want to write down every task that you're doing, how long it took, and it might also be helpful to note if you are procrastinating or if the task felt really easy or really hard. I did this with one of my clients and she tracked her energy levels for each task because she was running out of energy during the day and then pushing all of her tasks back. So instead of just focusing on getting better sleep or eating differently or adding in a workout to generate energy, she just tracked her tasks to see where her energy was leaking so that she could adjust that one task or support herself to recharge after those energy-heavy tasks. In the end, if you're overwhelmed, then your schedule is not serving you, which it really needs to be when you're the one doing all or most of the work in your business. So if you were starting from scratch, I would tell you to pick one social media platform and then become the best you can be at that one platform. If you've been at it for a while and you have lots of social media accounts, don't be afraid to scale back. Here's your permission. It's okay to stop using different accounts. It's better for your audience to hear from you consistently than to show up in a million places just so people can hear from you 2 or 3 times a month. I've done YouTube, Clubhouse, Twitter, Facebook, and none of those platforms light me up like Instagram. And so that is where I spend most of my time. If you've seen me on those platforms before and you were like, why doesn't Sarah show up on YouTube anymore or do Twitter? Because I didn't want to and it wasn't fun and it wasn't working for me. And that's enough of a reason to scrap it and go back to what works best. I really believe in the power of video, but I did not like having to do my hair and makeup or deal with recording. So I decided to just try a podcast instead. And I much prefer sitting in my closet in my PJs, recording episodes than doing my hair and makeup and fighting with my camera and lighting and editing and scripting and getting annoyed that my neighbors are making noise. Like somebody's vacuuming upstairs right now. And shout out to Steve, because if he hears that, he's the one that gets to edit that out instead of me stressing the whole time and stopping and starting over and over again. So I went for the easier option and my audience benefited because of it, because now I'm showing up more consistently. So you can do the same thing too. All right, that's all for this week. If you have more content and marketing questions, head over to Instagram, find me at @XOSarahMorgan, slide in my DMs and let me know what questions you have. I love hearing from you and it totally makes planning my content easier. So get those in before March 1st because that's when I'm going to plan more content. So if you're enjoying the podcast, please make sure to subscribe, share, leave a review. It totally helps and always makes my day. Thank you as always for listening. I will talk to you again next week. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you have any questions on anything we talked about today, or if you are looking for help to market and grow your business, head over to daretogrow.co. That's daretogrow.co and join us in Dare to Grow. It's my membership for solopreneurs looking to simplify their marketing, show up with confidence, and finally grow their online business. You will get instant access to all of the trainings, the twice monthly coaching calls, our monthly planning and goal setting call, and our super supportive Facebook community filled with solopreneurs just like you. Seriously, it's so good. If that sounds like something you need, link is in the show notes or visit daretogrow.co and I will see you inside.